Governor Paterson, Assemblyman Silver, Senator Squadron, BMCC colleagues, friends, and neighbors, and members of the media. Welcome to the Borough of Manhattan Community College. Governor Paterson is an ardent supporter of higher education and lifelong learning, as well as dedicated advocate of the City University of New York and a close friend of BMCC. 3 years ago, he was our 41st commencement speaker, and we are honored to welcome him back today. In mind, the terms workforce development and community college are closely intertwined. More than ever before, community colleges are places where individuals can return to acquire and update the skills they need to function and thrive in a rapidly changing world. This is a role to which community colleges in general, and BMCC in particular, have always been totally committed. As CUNY's largest community college, one of BMCC's top priorities is to increase access to and upgrade the quality of workforce training in New York. Through BMCC's Continuing Education and Workforce Development Division, we're enabling individuals to upgrade their job skills, earn general equivalency diplomas, transform their lives, and achieve economic stability. A case in point, earlier this month, BMCC's Cost Estimator Training Program graduated its first class. Initiated by the Lower Manhattan Construction Command Center, the program is designed to encourage minority, female, and veteran participation in the construction field and the downtown rebuilding effort. So today it is my honor, and it's the honor of the Borough of Manhattan Community College, to host this press conference related to workforce development, and for me to introduce our governor. Please welcome the governor of the state of New York, the Honorable David A. Paterson.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you to your service right here at BMCC and also to CUNY and as a civic leader all around this borough and this city. Just this Monday, President Obama came right here to New York to announce new regulations for Wall Street and sadly to commemorate the first anniversary of the collapse of Lehman Brothers, the subsuming of Merrill Lynch by Bank of America, and the saving of AIG by the federal government. In this period, I remember what was going on last year. At the end of July, I warned the state and the country that we would have an economic downturn, nothing like we have seen in 80 years. In August, the Speaker joined me in bringing the legislature back to address our budget deficit and to create a surplus of about $500 million. So when the quake came, we were prepared. But the tremors and the consistency of this downturn in the economy has hit New York worse than any other state, since we derive 20% of our resources from financial services from Wall Street. And yet, what we are trying to address now is a sagging economy that continues. The most recent labor statistics now show New York with a 9% unemployment rate, and New York City with a 10.3% unemployment rate as well. There are 43,000 people who've lost their jobs in the financial services industry alone. And this is a low that the city and state have not seen in the last 26 years since the recession at the end of 1982. But what we are trying to do is to put people back to work and to keep people working as much as we can by soliciting federal funding and by extending our unemployment insurance. Today I'm announcing that we have received $11 million from National Emergency Grant Funding to create opportunities and to retrain workers from the financial service industry so that they can retool for new careers. This funding that is coming by way of the federal government for unemployment insurance and also to fund job training will be merged in the areas that we feel employment will flourish in the new emerging fields such as green jobs, healthcare, teaching, and information technology. Green jobs are the jobs of the future. Healthcare is an industry that has continued to flourish even during the recession. Information technology are the tools by which our young people will join the workforce, and education is the tool by which we can all benefit as we retrain ourselves for new careers. Many of the individuals who are receiving this kind of training are here today. They are eager to be trained and dying to get back to work. Putting people back to work must be our priority at this particular time, and we're doing it in a variety of ways. We're using federal stimulus money to work on different projects which will create jobs for carpenters, for construction workers, engineers, truck drivers, and electricians. We will be using new innovative technology and also an innovative economy to create jobs as our 45 by 15 program, where we want to transfer the cost of creating electricity from traditional to cleaner renewable sources by the year 2015, and it will create 50,000 jobs in this state. We are trying to keep up not only with the creation of jobs, but with the lowering of impediments and obstacles to businesses so that they can create jobs, and also lowering property taxes so that people that live in the state will be able to make this economy work for them. And so I can't be more delighted that we have received this funding that comes from the Secretary of Labor, which is specifically designed for unusual dislocations, and that's what we saw when a number of jobs were lost from the financial services industry after the collapse of that economy just 1 year ago this week. And to that end, we had our Department of Labor here right in the vicinity to talk to those workers who'd been released on September 15th, 16th, and 17th of last year, promising them that we would be able to be of assistance. And by May, we've started the job training. We're already training 460 employees. There'll be a total of 1,400 that will be trained from this source. The states of New Jersey and Connecticut also got funding under this program, but New York got the greatest amount of funding since we took the biggest hit in this situation. I'd now like to introduce someone who has represented this district for decades, and Shelley Silver.
Thank you very much, Governor. Thank you for being here in downtown Manhattan and making this wonderful announcement that really affects the people and the businesses down here. But let me first say it's a pleasure to be on the campus of this great Manhattan Community College, and I'm looking forward to coming back and cutting that ribbon on Fitterman, the new Fitterman Hall, hopefully very soon. I want to express today that I am delighted by the leadership the governor has provided and in getting the Obama administration to dedicate this $11 million grant to assist out-of-work financial industry employees who will obtain up-to-date training to transition them to new jobs and new careers. Speaking for my downtown community, let me commend the President for his leadership and for his concern. And on behalf of our struggling workforce, I want to thank him for this national emergency grant. I really do want to thank the governor for seeing the opportunity to get this from the federal government and for advocating and making sure that while there was a total of $22 million to the region, New York took the bulk of that money due to the governor's advocacy on behalf of our industry. We need to remember two things. One, our workforce is our most valuable economic asset, and two, we have some of the world's more talented, driven, innovative men and women working right here in New York's financial services industry. We can't afford to lose their energy or their intelligence. With this grant, we'll be able to channel those talents into other sectors of our economy so they can continue to help bolster our economic recovery.
As Vice Chair of the Social Services Committee in the State Senate, in this year's budget, I fought for jobs money, and I did it because in this economy, with the state having gone the way it has, we need money for jobs. We need money to give people the opportunity for those jobs to become careers. We need job training, we need wage subsidy. And I just want to commend and thank the governor for focusing on that and realizing that with this national emergency grant. These $11 million are a down payment on exactly what we need in Lower Manhattan and what we need across New York State. And from the beginning, working with Governor Paterson and his administration and pushing every step of the way for more job training, more wage subsidy, for green jobs and healthcare jobs and all the new industries has been a great partnership and something I've been so glad to be able to do and so glad that the administration has been as receptive as it has. Certainly today is one to be celebrated and one in which, on behalf of my district, I just say thank you so much for this leadership.
I'd now like to introduce our great Labor Commissioner, Patricia Smith, and she will help me field the questions here. And thank you all for coming, particularly those of you who are anxious to be trained. We want to implement this program as soon as possible.